Hey guys, this is Thomas, Chewy, and Erica with Popular Doodle, and today we're going to be testing out the Fi Dog Collar. It's a GPS tracking collar for when your dog gets lost to help you find them faster and maybe even save their life. So we're going to give it a shot today. We're doing an experiment where Erica's going to take Chewy out here and get as lost as possible, and they're going to get a 20-minute head start on me. We're going to see how long it takes me to find them. Then we're going to try it again when I can track them with the Fi app, see how long it takes me to find them then. Read the post. We're going to have all the details of the experiment here and exactly what happens. Stay tuned. All right, guys, I just got in the car here. They got 20 minutes to get as far and lost as possible. We're going to see how long it takes me to find it without using any GPS tracking, just driving around as if the dog got lost naturally. Let's get started, guys. Now, the first place we're going to look is down here at the end of the street. My street's a little dead-end street, so it's very possible he could come down here towards this woodsy area. There's a couple fields back and forth here that he could be, but I don't see him here. So we'll eventually come back. Now, when you're searching for a dog, you want to go to places that your dog would want to go. He doesn't go down too far at the end of the street, but he knows a couple of the neighbors there. Now, meanwhile, I'm turning around. I'm going down these little side streets. Every minute I'm spending here is another minute he might be getting further away. I have no idea where he is. He could be 10 feet and just be sniffing something the entire time, or he could be already, who knows, a mile away now or more. But this street, about not even a month ago, I was driving down and see a dead cat on the side of the street. So the threat really is that every minute that we don't find Chewy is, if this wasn't a test, if this wasn't an experiment, another minute that he could be hit by a car or worse. You know, he could be dead, he could be injured, and I'd have no idea until someone finds him and someone gets the tag and hopefully calls me. The other thing to consider is, even if your dog has a tag, you have no idea if someone else wants to stop and see if your dog's friendly. They have no idea if your dog's friendly. So is it worth the risk to them to go up and approach a strange dog they've never met? You hope that some people would, but you never know. And I don't really see him on this street right now. So far, we're about halfway down. We're gonna have to make a decision halfway here, is we're gonna hit a busier street, at which point I have to decide, do I cross over this busier street and get to the completely other section of the city here, or do I stay over on this side and loop around? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start as close as possible to my house and work away. So we're gonna turn left here and just keep zigzagging around the close blocks to my house. Because my thought is, I'm hoping Chewy is sniffing something, he gets caught up with something he likes. Maybe it's neighbor kids, maybe it's just other people, familiar. Kind of take him around where we go for walks typically. Start there and expand outwards as far as my strategy. Now, granted, I'm going through this process right now with a pretty clear head, because I know my dog is not legitimately lost. If my dog is legitimately lost right now, my adrenaline's rushing. I'm freaking out. I might not be able to think so logically. I have to drive slow enough where I can kind of look down driveways, look in yards, but at the same time, I gotta go fast, because every minute I waste is another minute he's in danger. It's another minute he could be getting further away from home. And so I'm just gonna stop and look down this alley. I don't see really anything down there, but again, you never know. It could be behind anything, behind a trash can, behind someone's steps. But at some point I have to make a quick judgment about which direction I'm gonna go, because there's just so many streets. So you can see kind of how fast that car was just whipping around this street here. This This is a neighborhood street, and this happens for every neighborhood. You know, once people have been around here a while, you just tend to go faster in places. You know, everyone's guilty of it. You go fast because you know the place, and that's why a lot of accidents happen within a mile of your home. And that's why if your dog is out here on one of these roads, he ventures off the sidewalk or out of people's yards and into the street, that's trouble. I haven't been out here for too long so far, but I can see how it would be getting very, very panicky if someone lost their dog, and they've now been gone a little over an hour. We just did a route we were on for a walk recently. It's now it's kind of just zigzagging a little bit to see where else he could have gone, but there's just so many places. You know, one thing I will say I haven't really considered, you know, during the planning phase of this is how hard it would be to drive and search at the same time. Where I'm trying to go slow speeds here, I'm looking left, I'm looking right, and it's impossible to be accurately, you know, looking. Again, there's a little parking lot up there that I can see half of, a driveway down there. There's just so many, when you actually get into this situation, it feels a little helpless because there's so many places that it's impossible, whether you're walking, driving, to look down every one of these little alleys, these little side streets. What this is making me really grateful for right now is that there's sunlight up. If it was dark out, this would be absolutely terrible. I wouldn't be able to see anything down these roads. There's not street lamps on these streets. Now you might think that this is going to be better for you because if you live in the suburbs or out in a little more rural of a community, there's not going to be nearly as many cars passing all the time. But something else to consider is how fast those cars are going. When you're going in a suburban, you know, outside the neighborhoods, you're whizzing down the roads. The speed limits are faster. The speed limits around here are 25, 30. They're not going to be the 50 that a speed limit in the suburbs, you know, not necessarily in the communities, but to connect the communities, it's not going to be the same. It's starting to wear off, honestly. Like, this is getting frustrating. I can't imagine how frustrating it would be if I'm all worked up. My dog is not safe right now. You know, it's got to be the worst feeling, where I'm frustrated just because I honestly thought this would be easier. I thought, you know, it's 20 minutes. That's not a lot of time for, you know, me to rush home from work or to get home, to get searching, like how far could the dog have gone. Like, I completely underestimated how hard this would be. Oh my God, that was miserable. Yeah. Alright guys, so I just got in the car now. We're pretending, it's been 20 minutes, we're pretending I just drove home from work real fast after getting the notification that Chewy has left the house without an owner. So right now I got my phone here, we're recording on Erica's phone how long it's gonna take me to find them. So I'm opening up the app here. I have a screen recording going on this phone so it can kind of see what I'm looking at as I search for him here. So now I'm gonna turn on lost dog mode. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna update the GPS a little more frequently. And it's also going to, flash his collar red. So right now I can see where he is on the map here. And he's not too far away. He's a few blocks down. But it updates every minute here. So it's gonna update again in 30 seconds. So in that 30 seconds, I'm gonna quickly turn around on the street here. So when his next location gets pinged to me, I'm ready to go. So now I know he's gonna be straight at this intersection. It's like following a GPS so far. So he's getting a little bit further away the next ping. So it looks like he's probably walking this way. It's not 100% real time here, but it's updating about every minute. Should be up this street. We turn right here. And the only reason I even had to do this loop here is because this is a one-way street. So they're walking pretty fast, it looks like. But we're gonna go where it's telling us to go here, which is one more street further down than I went. So you can see it's not 100% real time here, but we're gonna see. There they are, we just passed them. So we're looking at the clock here. That was 6 minutes, it looks like we got him in. There he is. What's going on, buddy? Hop in. Hey guys, we're back. You can see Chewy's a little bit worn out here. It's been a long day, especially for both of these guys here. It took the maximum we were willing to spend, 3 hours. We didn't even find him without the Fi app. We did it again with the Fi app, 6 minutes. As you can see, that's a big difference. That's a big amount of frustration that was saved on the second time. If you are worked up and anxious, your adrenaline's running, your dog is lost, you just saved yourself maybe your dog's life. If not that, at least a few hours of your time. This is definitely a game changer when it comes to finding your lost dog.